Welcome back. Needless to say, on the show, you hear me talk a lot about real estate. It's called the American Dream. This is San Diego, America's finest city. All this in here is real estate. What you might not know about real estate is there's a 90-10 rule. 10% of the real estate professionals do 90% of the production. I got a couple of them here right now, and I want to bring them into the show. We got a little bit of a debate about the real estate market from North County to East County. Got Mary Maloney and Kyle Whissel. Good to have you here.
Thanks.
Two friendly competitors.
Yeah,
or competitors,
like
is it friendly?
Of course.
All right, so there's a guy named
Always.
Tom Ferry. Tom Ferry, I would call the #1 real estate coach nationwide. Is that a true statement?
Absolutely.
Yep.
So Tom Ferry is a guy that I've known for quite some time. He's just an incredible expert from real estate to coaching, and both of you guys rely on Tom Ferry for some coaching advice. Is that true?
Yes.
All right. Does he stir up some challenges between you guys from time to time?
He encourages it.
That's the deal. So he encourages it.
Yes, it's his fault that we get into these challenges.
Well, as entrepreneurs, isn't it important to have a coach, though? I mean, I think that coaches should have coaches, and most do. Even you get to some of these CEOs, these Fortune 500 companies, I mean, these are probably guys that hired a guy like Tom Ferry. So this, I mean, you guys are at the top of the food chain, getting advice from guys like him. But it's good to have you in here because I know you compete a lot. Explain how real estate is a relationship business. I mean, even just coming into the show in between break, we're talking about a deal you have, another agent that's one of our real estate elite in our show, another deal of yours. Explain how it's a relationship business, Kyle.
I mean, relationships are everything in this business. When we were in the green room, Mary and I were talking. She just had a big client appreciation party for all of the clients that she's worked with up in North County, just so they can do something to give back to their clients and further strengthen those relationships with those clients and really make yourself more than just a realtor, which is a big problem in our industry. People are just so transactional.
Yep.
They just want to get one transaction done, move on to the next, and they forget about taking care of those clients that they've worked with, that they already have a relationship with. So they just finished their event up this past weekend. We're doing ours next weekend. So we really want to do stuff to stay in touch with our clients and really build long-term relationships with those people on the client side. And then we do things like this TV show so we can build relationships with other competitors in the industry, which a lot of times we're competitors on one deal and we're allies on the next deal. So it's important to have those
relationships. We're in a low
relationships.
inventory market, Mary. You put these offers up in North County, these amazing properties. You do a great, probably the best job of marketing with videos, getting out on social media. So you get a lot of people make these offers. There's high supply or high demand, low supply.
Right.
How important is a realtor on that offer when you're looking at accepting and going back to your seller?
Well, it's everything.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we will sell properties just through a phone call. You know, Sam on Kyle's team just called me the other day and said, hey, I've got a client. This is what they're looking for. I know this is your primary farm. Do you have anything coming up? Absolutely. Happy to send you the photos. Before I put it in the MLS, you can have first dibs. Those types of relationships get properties for buyers, but then at the same time, we're able, if we've got multiple offers on the table, advise sellers. Experience tells me this person will do what they say and abide by the timelines, and I'm not going to have to chase them and send them notices to perform. Same thing with lenders. Experience tells me this. It's still their choice at the end of the day. It's not our choice, but we can at least advise them on our experience with certain professionals in the industry.
So let me give a good takeaway for our audience here. There's 20,000 real estate licenses in San Diego, right? So you might see someone that has a bus bench, or maybe your kid plays baseball with another parent and they got their real estate license. There's 20,000 of them. I learned actually this morning, believe it or not, that it takes 400 hours to get your hairstyling license and only 40 to get your real estate license. So you got to be very careful of the professionals out there. So that's why I really bring up the 90-10 rule. You want to work with someone who's just an amazing person, an amazing professional, and has a track record, and people in the industry know it. It's going to help you get your offers accepted. It's going to help you in contract. There's a laundry list of things I could get into here, but it's just so important that you identify the right professional in your marketplace. And being a relationship business, you can also have a little bit of fun as well.
It would be boring if we didn't.
So we have an image from a happy hour we did not that long ago of Mary Maloney choking Kyle Whissel. These two, they have offices in different parts of San Diego, and Mary Maloney decided to, I guess you'd say teepee, right? Teepee Kyle Whissel's office?
No, the correct word is decorate. We decorated Whissel Realty. Pulled a little shenanigans.
Kyle Whissel decided to pretend sell Mary Maloney's house. That's on your screen now. And he followed up with a PR release. It said, and I believed it. I was like, really? Mary Maloney is using Kyle to sell a house? I even did a Facebook post. I was like, hey, that's awesome. Two of the elite. Kyle, I think you might have pushed the envelope a little bit too far. But it was good. It was good, all fun competition.
I actually had agents emailing me, Mary, can I show your house? I've got buyers for your neighborhood.
I was
So
like,
Mary, can
Brian
I let you
Richard,
in on?
shout out.
Can I let you know a secret? Your husband knew that sign went in your yard.
oh no. Well, now you're disrupting marriages. Trust me, Mary Maloney has done much, much worse.
That was
Oh, yeah.
actually my son in the front yard.
Oh no, he called your dad, or your husband, and your husband okayed it.
But it's so important. I mean, the real, our audience is like, what the heck? Here's the thing: when you are in the market to buy a home or sell a home, obviously contracts are important. But when you have, and, I get asked all the time, as technology advances, do you think the realtor goes away? And I think that could be further from the truth. I hope some of the 20,000 in San Diego go away, but it is a relationship business. You want to work with someone who's well connected on the mortgage side with other realtors, can help you find inventory, negotiate the deal. It's just so important to have that personal touch. So I don't think that's ever going to happen. Now, the other 90 that we're talking about, not the top 10%, the elite as we call them here on the show, the 90%, well, they can still put homes on market. They can still stumble across deals. And I wanted to show some images of how they may not help you sell your property. So I'm in the market actually to buy a house myself. The pictures we're showing you right now are real pictures without much digging that I just copied off of the MLS and I brought here today. Mary and Kyle, look at some of these pictures of how, I call this the no room. This is how somebody is going to
That's how you crack
market
your
a
skull
property.
open on that bar right there.
Keep us going. I mean, these are real pictures. This was the very first picture I saw in the MLS when I was looking at real estate. Like, where do you look at this? I did the boxes and the arrows just to illustrate the point. This one is my favorite one. I call this the toilet paper.
Yeah.
So, but you
The
guys see
crappers in the living room.
but you guys see you guys see this stuff all the time.
Oh yeah, we see this kind of stuff all the time, and it's the difference between having your real estate license and being a marketer. And I think you'll find Kyle feels the same way I do. It's about developing an experience from the moment the consumer sees the first photo that wants to pull them in,
Yep.
right? We call those scene stealers. And we've only got 7 seconds to grab someone. That may have grabbed you to look and say, what else is going on inside this condo? But it didn't really make you want to buy it or go
scroll
see
right
it.
past it. Real estate's still a very
right past
emotional
it.
buy. I mean, you're gonna in many cases live there, raise your family, build memories. There's nothing that really
Right.
grabs your heartstrings to raise your family like
Right.
toilet paper. But what's important though is when we talk about technology and relationships, technology is important. I mean, people are shopping online. Speaking of Tom Ferry, I know he's a really big fan of Zillow. You guys know a lot about Zillow. You can find a lot of information. That's great, but if that's the first impression you're giving it, it kind of speaks to what the industry is, how they're marketing your property. I think really important to know right now is if your agent isn't doing video marketing and staging and things along those lines, then you're really missing out on how to get top dollar for your property. We actually have one of the properties that you recently sold in North County, a video of yours. I'd like you to talk us through it and,
Okay.
and kind of how you go about it. So it's going to play, but talk us through it and how you approach marketing these homes.
So this was actually the 30-second movie trailer that we developed that we actually ran at the Luxury Theater in North County. But it was about taking a look at the property and seeing, how is a family going to enjoy this very unique property that has a motocross track in the backyard. And those are actually the sellers of the property. We got the sellers involved. Sometimes we'll actually hire actors. But it was a full 2-minute video. We had over 5,000 views of that video. But this was just the 30-second movie trailer that we used in other mediums to draw people back to the longer version.
So there's two real key takeaways. One, that's obviously better than the pictures we showed. And two, what Mary does with that, she gets it out, she puts it in social media and blogs it and puts it in all these different websites. So when people find it, there's more people finding it online, and that's what they're seeing as their first impression in those 7 seconds. Now, Kyle, you do a lot of this as well. You host a radio show with us on Wednesdays, and you really really zero down on niche markets.
Right.
East County, I mean, you cover all of San Diego. You got an award-winning team that covers all of San Diego. But here's an example of a video that you did on Santee.
Right.
So explain to me the importance of being a niche market expert and how that helps you with the clients.
Definitely. So one of the keys when somebody's buying a home, they're not just buying the four walls and what's inside of it. They're buying the lifestyle that comes along with that home. So for us, when we're marketing a home, we want to showcase everything obviously about the home, which is really important, but also the lifestyle that somebody can expect to live when they buy that home. So Santee in particular is really a very family-oriented community. They have some of the top-rated schools in the entire county, super low crime rates, tons of fun outdoor stuff to do. You know, they've got softball and soccer all over the place, golfing, they've got hiking, biking. It's just a really active community where there's a lot of fun stuff to do. And so when we market a home, we want to stitch in, 50% lifestyle and 50% of the actual home that's for sale. And that's how we can help get our sellers top dollar for their homes.
Well, I mean, as we're looking right now, you have this drone video and you're looking at this shot above, right?
Yeah.
So if you're trying to learn about where I'm buying a house, if it's something coastal, is it looking at dumpsters or dolphins, right?
Right.
And so those overhead views help you really understand the neighborhood, how close are we to the school, where does it get sketchy? I mean, these are things that are really important. 50-50, that's interesting. It was the first time I've heard that. Mary, you primarily are in North County, right? So we've talked a little bit about marketing here today and how important that is. Let's talk about the market, right? Micro markets, all housing markets are local. Everybody's heard that one before.
Right.
So what's happening in North County?
Well, North County continues an upward trend. We're seeing 5% year-over-year price increases. I think the more important thing is that the affordability index in North County has risen from 26% last year to 33% this year. So more people can actually afford the homes that they're buying. Of course, the real winner in North County continues to be the single-family attached market. 39 straight consecutive months of price increases.
On the attached.
On the attached. They continue to be the real winners for investors. We're seeing a lot of investors now flip out of those single properties. We're helping them buy 3, 4, 10-door complexes now where the real money is. And then, of course, the real winner has been 92011. They've experienced a 21% price increase over the same time last year in Carlsbad.
When you get up north, what's cool about it, and I've learned this from you, is that you get those multi-million-dollar properties in that coastal living, but you also
Right.
get the properties that a first-time home buyer can afford.
Absolutely.
And when you're looking what people are paying in rent, I mean, rent prices in San Diego are skyrocketing. You can buy a house with these low rates to the equivalent of what you might be paying in rent. Depends, case by case, depends on your qualifications, the interest rate you can get, but
Right.
very, very close in many cases. Tell us about East County.
So East County is an amazing place. Santee in particular is where we do a lot of our business. And what's great in Santee is we've seen a lot of new buyers coming into Santee, primarily because the school rankings have recently come out. And Santee ranked an 8 out of 10 in the school rankings, which is right up there with Carlsbad, with San Marcos, with Poway. So we're seeing a lot more buyers coming into Santee because of those schools. And again, because of the low crime rates. And what's happening right now in Santee is there's just a huge shortage of inventory for sale. So there's less homes available. It's taking less time to get homes sold, which is naturally driving prices up. So a lot of the stats that are out there talk about the median sold price, but that stat's always delayed 3, 4, 5 months from what's
Yeah.
actually happening in the market today. So while the stats showing 5% right now, I guarantee you at the end of the year, once the stats catch up to what's actually happening in the market today, you're going to see double-digit appreciation out in East County.
Mary, give us a real-time example of one of your listings.
Oh gosh, where do I start?
Yeah. People
We
always say
have
there's
so
low
many.
inventories because of two of these two have it all.
This is actually something that we just put on the market up in Marietta. Marietta, you can get such a great value. This is a great example of some of the drone technology that we're using as well as Kyle. But this property here, North County is a great coastal micro. And so these folks needed to sell their property in Marietta. And so we're now in escrow at the most that anything is sold for up there because we came in doing things that agents up there aren't seeing being done, such as drone and this type of HD photography. And this is just a great example of people that are selling in Temecula, Marietta, and moving to coastal North County. But that home there, mid-4s.
Oh, look at that right there. That's mid-4s?
Mid-4s.
Wow. Kyle, give us an example of a listing in your area.
Absolutely. So we're going to show a video of one of our newest listings. It's in the Rancho San Diego community, which is part of El Cajon. And again, we're big on using the aerial videography on these homes so we can really showcase unique properties like this one that sits up on top of a mountain, sitting on a 3-acre lot. And you wouldn't be able to do something like that without getting aerial with the videography on it. So we want to get up in the air, showcase that. And then what we like to do on our videos is we like to do voiceovers of everything. So we can not just show a bunch of pictures, but actually help explain what it is that a potential buyer is looking at. We can showcase some of the unique features. On this particular home, they have all kinds of unique upgrades. They have like tiger wood flooring in here, mahogany wood doors. They've really made a lot of custom upgrades that just by looking at a picture you wouldn't be able to appreciate. And this is a 3,500 square foot home, 3-acre lot. It's sitting in a private gated community, panoramic views. And this home's priced at $850 to $900, so it's a ton of home for the money.
Wow. I mean, even if you put the 20% down, which you don't have to do, I mean, 3.5% FHA, depending on guidelines and all that, I hate to get into those, but you put enough money down, again, you're looking at payments that aren't unreasonable in this low interest rate environment. Definitely worth exploring. So the one thing I got wrong here today is I've been talking about 90-10, right? What you need to know about Kyle Whissel and Mary Maloney, they are in the top 1%, and they are very competitive. Tom Ferry put these two into a competition. There's a lot of disagreement over who won.
We did.
Been interesting. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to bury the hatchet and close out the show. Mary, and these are two of the most fun golf people to play. So we decided
Should we just put it in the desk?
We would bring some Fireball as well. And we can't do this on camera. This is a family show, but going out, we will bury the hatchet, take a shot of Fireball, and call it a day.
What better way to settle?
These are the best. Visit them, find them online, and certainly find us next week at 10 a.m. on Channel 4 right here on The American Dream. Have a great one.